Hi fam, welcome back to the Girl Grown channel. It's been a while, I know. Today I want to talk to you about COVID-19, but I do not want to talk to you about, you know, terrifying statistics, facts, figures, theories, all the scaremongering that we have kind of thrown at us from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed. What I really want to focus on today is the mental health implications of the restrictions that have been placed on our lives thanks to COVID-19. And I want to give some really practical, tried and tested tips that have actually brought me out of the depths of despair during this year. And because I found, these methods so effective for me, I really wanted to share them with you guys because I know that so many people are having a horrendous time, suffering tremendously, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And yeah, it just seems like the right thing to do to share what I have learned and what's really worked for me. So let's get into it. Who would have thought 1 year ago that we would be living in a world where you could be told by the government that you can't leave your home for weeks at a time, that opening your business would be illegal, that going to work would be illegal, going to restaurants, bars, cafes would be illegal, traveling to a different part of the country would be illegal, going on holiday would be illegal, visiting your relatives in care homes and hospitals would be illegal, being by the side of your partner who's giving birth would be illegal, that you would have to give birth wearing a mask and in some cases put a mask on a newborn baby. That you wouldn't be able to be by the side of a dying relative, that you wouldn't be able to hold a funeral to say goodbye to your loved ones, that you wouldn't be able to have a wedding to celebrate your love, that children would be at school or not at school in some cases, but the ones who are at school are often in these bubbles, isolated from other kids. And yeah, we'd be keeping 6 feet apart from each other and be scared of our fellow humans, that if someone sneezed, we'd jump out of our skin, that we would greet people with an elbow bump rather than a shake of the hands or a hug. Something that's really important to remember about humans is that we are incredibly sociable animals. We're pack animals. We thrive when we're around other humans. So being isolated from each other, and for those of us who are kind of either on furlough or been made redundant, out of work, stuck at home, this kind of lack of purpose. Some people, without having a day-to-day purpose, they start to lose their sense of meaning in life. So, while COVID-19 has obviously been a devastating thing to happen, it could also be argued that the fallout and the restrictions and how we've restructured the world as a result of it has been equally, if not more, devastating. So as I said, today I really want to focus on ways that we can try to preserve and maybe even build back up our mental health in these unprecedented times. The first thing that I think is so important to do when you wake up in the morning is wake up and just take 5 minutes to offer up some gratitude. Those of us who are religious and have something or someone that we pray to, a little prayer just to acknowledge your blessings. If that is not your jam and you're not religious, then just running through a list in your head of all the things that you're grateful for. So for me, I wake up and I'm reminded that I am so lucky to have such a beautiful family, to have a roof over my head, to have beautiful food to eat. And I'm grateful for all of my life experiences, the good and the bad, because they've got me to where I am today. So that's just a little taster of the things that I'm grateful for. It's obviously going to be different. There'll be people out there that don't have many of the things that I just listed, but I'm sure they've got things, whether it's their health or a great job, both of which aren't really great for me at the minute. So, we've all got our blessings and we've all got our challenges, but just acknowledge your blessings. First thing when you wake up in the morning, I highly recommend it. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is your morning routine. Now, for those of us who have been made redundant, put on furlough, and even to some extent those of us who are working at home, will find that the routine that we've had potentially for many years has been turned on its head, blown out the water, or just completely like a rug pulled out from under our feet. When that first happens and for some time after, it can feel like a bit of a holiday. You can sleep in, you can kick back, you can do what you want when you want. I have found that not too long into that kind of lifestyle, a sense of rudderlessness and purposelessness can set in, and that's not good. Routine really helps hold humans in place, obviously physically, but also mentally. Having daily tasks, places to be, things to do, deadlines to meet, it actually stops our monkey mind from wandering off and causing trouble. I think, very sadly, when humans have too much time on their hands and no sense of direction and purpose, the mind can become a very destructive force. To that end, I suggest that those of you who have had your world turned upside down, you don't have a job, or you're just kind of chilling at home, create a new routine for yourself. And that can start with things as simple as make sure you get up, you make your bed, you have a shower, you make yourself look presentable, even though you're not going anywhere. Because again, it's very easy to fall into these habits of staying in your pajamas all day, not washing your hair, wearing tatty old clothes, not putting on any makeup. Again, there's nothing wrong with all of that. There's a time and a place for it. But I just think there's something about maintaining a sense of pride in your appearance and in your surroundings, and instilling that bit of self-discipline that I think is really, really helpful when it comes to just keeping you on track, keeping you in balance, keeping your mind sharp, and just doing your best to kind of find some sense of purpose amongst the chaos. My next point would be choose when and how you consume media and social media. Now, I'm sure all of you have noticed that the media seldom reports on good people doing good things, positive things happening, good stories, uplifting content. It just doesn't happen. It's just not a thing. And of course, the reason for that is that, sadly, fear, anger, those types of emotions sell. We have this weirdly masochistic desire to consume media that angers us and scares us. Like, the more fearful we are, the more we want to research and find out more about that topic, and the more content the media will feed you on that topic. So there's a really unhealthy cycle, I think, unhealthy relationship going on between the media and us. And then social media, of course, you're getting all the same types of stories out there that's designed to wind you up. But you're also getting a lot of content that just does not make you feel good. I mean, this is a whole nother conversation, but these airbrushed, filtered bodies, fake faces, the very fact that there are apps out there that are known to be used by all of these influencers that completely change your face, every part, even the shape of your skull, your nose, your lips, the positioning of your eyes, the thickness of your hair, how big your boobs are, how big your butt is, how small your waist is. Nothing on social media is real. You're going online and you're seeing these perfect people living these perfect lives. It's just, how is this serving you? Again, it's a form of torture. So I highly recommend, if not removing the vast majority of definitely social media, and if not media, I recommend really limiting it and you controlling it and not letting it control you. You control when you consume it. So the next thing that I want to talk about is nutrition. So I think that people are becoming increasingly aware that what you eat obviously impacts your physical health and your body, but I think people are more and more starting to realize that nutrition has a huge impact on your mental health as well. It's now a non-disputed fact that if you are lacking in B vitamins, you will see rapid cognitive decline. You'll see depression. You could see things like Alzheimer's and dementia setting in. And that's just one of all the vitamins and minerals that we need to keep our body functioning at maximum capacity. That's just one. And the other thing that I think has got a lot of attention lately is what they call your second brain, which is your gut. I believe it's 90%, I could be wrong on the figure, but it's an extremely high percentage of the serotonin, which is the happy hormone. is produced in your gut. So if your gut bacteria is off, maybe you've just done a round of antibiotics, and that's taken its toll on your gut bacteria, your body's ability to produce serotonin will lower dramatically, and you may find a huge drop in your mood. Yeah, so I just really encourage you to research the connection between mental health and your diet, and to just ensure that you're nourishing your body, not too much sugar, not too much caffeine, not too much processed food, not too much alcohol, and rather than just focusing on what you can't have, focus on trying to get the food in your body that's really going to nourish you physically and mentally, and in turn emotionally. So that's been a really, really big one for me, making sure that I'm eating properly and that I'm getting all the stuff my body needs to function optimally. So next is exercise. Of course, you can't talk about food without exercise. I personally am not a believer in over-exercising or exercising too much. I think you can do more harm than good. But as Matthew McConaughey says, just breaking a sweat once a day, even if it's just 5 minutes, I don't know, you have to do what's right for your body. I don't want to recommend anything specifically, but I like to go for a bike ride and really push it for a few minutes and just get my heart rate up. It can be fast walking or stair climbing, or I guess no one can go to the gym at the minute, but on YouTube there are some really fantastic quick workout videos. A guy called the Fitness Marshal is someone that I've enjoyed off and on over the years. He does really simple dance routines to popular songs, and it's just real feel good kind of exercise. It doesn't matter what size you are or what your capabilities are, but beyond that, I just recommend really doing something that's going to get the endorphins pumping around your body. It's going to increase your energy. And for those of you, I guess we're different. So some of you have excess energy, and therefore exercise is really going to help you get that out of your body in a healthy way, so that you don't find yourself starting fights with your spouse and whatnot. And for those of us, and I would put myself in this category, who are a little bit lower on energy, so sorry, itchy nose. I don't have an abundance of energy like some people do, but I find that when I exercise, it gives me energy. So whatever way you look at it, exercise is a winner, and it really helps boost your mental health. Okay, so the next is something that I cannot recommend highly enough, and that is to get outside and connect with nature. Now, not all of us are lucky enough to live near water, near mountains, near forests, near fields. For those of you who do, there's absolutely no excuse not to get out and connect with nature once a day. For those kind of inner city people, and I've lived in big cities in my life, including London and New York, and what I found that I had to do then was just take time to get to a park, or the park in the case of New York. I mean, obviously they have more than one, but we all know the big one. And just go, and it may sound really, really cheesy, but just go and hang out and watch squirrels collecting nuts, and touch a tree and sit down on the floor and connect with the earth. And I get that may sound stupid to some people. Others of you may really get it. It is incredibly powerful and beneficial. And actually, some of you may have heard of forest bathing, which is something that medical professionals prescribe to depressed and unwell people in Japan. And I've just got a little note here just to tell you what they say about it. And they say it's proven to reduce stress hormone production, improve feelings of happiness, and free up creativity, as well as lowering heart rate and blood pressure, boosting the immune system, and accelerating recovery from illness. So I find the Japanese to be pretty smart, insightful people. So yeah, while this stuff may sound woo-woo, I definitely think that there is something to it. And I know in my heart that when I go out into nature, I feel like $1 million. So can't recommend it highly enough. Okay, up next is meaningful social interactions. So yes, we are incredibly isolated from each other at the moment, so we have to think outside the box and find more creative ways to connect and interact with each other. Humans are incredibly social creatures, and the science tells us that we get sick and we actually die at a certain point when we are just completely isolated from other people. So I think it's super important that we find ways that we can connect with the people that we love and care about. Now, I guess really obvious ways are FaceTime, Skype. You can have like a little dinner date with a friend where you get each other on Skype, you both cook, and you sit and you chat like you would if you were together. And this will not only help you, it will also help the person that you're talking to, because everyone is struggling with feelings of loneliness and isolation at the moment. So if you can kind of make the time to do that and put the effort in to set these things up and stick to them and follow through with them, I think you'll really feel a lot more connected than you currently do. And, we're blessed with this technology to be able to do this. So let's utilize it, and let's make sure that we keep our connections strong with the people that we care about. Okay, so I'm kind of working towards the end of my hypothetical day, and I'm going to start to talk about bedtime rituals and routines, and replacing screen time with me time. The blue light that is emitted from phones disrupts our body's circadian rhythms and dramatically restricts your body's ability to produce melatonin. So I'm sure you've all experienced working on the computer or the laptop, or being on the iPad and your phone before bed, and then just trying to sleep, feeling tired, but also feeling mentally wired. I guess you have to ask yourself, is this screen time serving me? Is scrolling through Instagram or watching some trashy show on Netflix, and that's not to say that all shows on Netflix are trashy. You may be watching something that really is, nourishing your soul or educating you, and that's great. But I just think that Netflix and phone and whatever shouldn't be the default bedtime ritual, in my humble opinion. I think there are ways that we can nourish ourselves and prepare ourselves for bed and for a restful night's sleep a lot better than that. So for me, if I am really looking after myself, I might like to put on some really nice soothing music, do some yoga, some stretching, a little bit of slow dancing, just a bit of nice movement, maybe a face mask, read a nice book. Just things that, we're all different, right? So different things nourish people or not in different ways. So just finding the things that really make you feel good, and nourish your heart and soul, and doing those before you go to bed. And obviously they should be things that help you wind down, prepare you for a nice, deep, relaxing sleep, and just make you feel good. Okay, and the final thing that I want to talk to you about is sleep. So that's honouring your body's need for somewhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, and it should be as high quality, deep, restful sleep as you can possibly get. And while you may say, well, I can't control the quality of sleep I get, I would beg to differ on that. I think that how you set yourself up for sleep will really determine the quality of your sleep. I would recommend eating your last meal a good few hours before you try to sleep, because research shows that if you eat too close to going to bed, your body is putting so much energy into digesting your food, and that prohibits you from actually getting the deepest sleep that you could get. So that's one thing. We've spoken about not overdoing it with screen time before you go to bed, and trying to do things that really nourish your soul and put you into a meditative or relaxing state of mind, so that you can really let go and your body can rest and repair in the way that it needs to. And I think all of you will have experienced not getting enough sleep and the repercussions of that. So I find when I don't get enough sleep, I'm incredibly moody, ratty, and I feel sad. I overeat. And I've looked into all of this, and there's science to back it up. Apparently you eat a lot more when you're sleep deprived. Apparently, there's a strong link between insomnia and depression. So I encourage you to really focus on ensuring that you get a good night's sleep. There are supplements like magnesium. Sorry for the banging in the background, but I'm almost done. Supplements like magnesium that are known to really promote a restful night's sleep. And I just think that you're finishing your day or your night off properly, and you're setting yourself up for a wonderful day ahead, because you've recharged your batteries, and you'll just wake up feeling refreshed and a lot happier than if you've had a shitty night's sleep, and your body hasn't had time to rejuvenate itself. So that draws me to the end of my tips and tricks for you to help you cope with this unprecedented time that we're going through, and the potentially bumpy year or years that we've got ahead of us. I think mental health is something that it doesn't just happen to us, that we're just constantly in excellent mental health. I think it's something that we have to consciously work on and try to maintain as we move through the ups and downs of life. So do let me know in the comments if you guys have any tips or tricks that have been helping you get through this crazy time. Let me know if this video has been at all helpful to you. I really, really hope that it has. And I'm looking forward to doing more videos soon. Please like and subscribe. I'm quite a new channel and I just love to see that I'm getting new subscribers and people are enjoying my content. And that's it. I will speak to you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Bye.